qualitative data analysis. For that matter, I followed this process to analyze the data. First, I have collected the data and through interview and observation. Finally, I tried to thematize it. When I say thematize, as per for supply chain as it is, for marketing as it is. Then I came to analysis and the interpretation of qualitative data, and I tried to draw conclusion and recommendation towards that one. And finally, those are the interviews with industrial parks, simply to share you the information from Bole Lami and from Adama Industrial Parks. I have used those are the minutes that I made interview with the target groups. As an example, Bole Lami Industrial Park Director, I talked with him around 53 minutes. Adama Industrial Parks, 41 minutes. And also you can see, this is simply to share totally. I took the interview from 15 targets. And when I come to the result and the discussion, when I measure views of interviews on practices of marketing strategy and supply chain management practices, this section summarizes the information gathered from two general directors, that means one from Bole Lami and one from Adama Industrial Parks, 11 company managers from both industrial parties, 2 custom clearing officers who have been working in the textile manufacturing industry, which are available in selected industrial parties. So accordingly, the first question was, how important do you think a marketing strategy to your company? So I got this answer. Accordingly, the level of emphasis given to marketing strategy is very low, because there was no question toward this story. There was no question toward this, the importance of marketing strategy. They replied as it is very important. But the second question was the level of, I wanted to identify the level of emphasis given to those both marketing strategy and supply chain management practices. So based on that one, the response of the general director of both industrial parks was that the level of emphasis given to marketing strategy is very low. They said that, I think the reason why less emphasis given to the marketing strategy is due to the poor level of emphasis given to market segmentation in the textile manufacturing company. Due to the country's policy direction, the market segmentation of companies is totally ignoring the domestic market. This enabled to say the emphasis given to marketing strategy is very low. On the other hand, the company manager replied that all companies are emphasizing marketing strategy to produce and sell their products to the international customers. Additionally, the company manager have explained that the company doesn't have a clear marketing strategy for the domestic market. So the author has raised another question to clarify the reason why the market regimentation of the textile manufacturing industry is totally ignoring the domestic market. So the feedback was, focusing on the foreign market is the government policy direction, and which is used to alleviate the foreign exchange shortage to the foreign exchange shortage. So the interview said that this is a policy direction from the government. That is why they are ignoring the domestic market. In addition, the author reviewed the report of industrial parties simply to triangulate and to make whether it is valid or not. I tried to read their annual report, which is drawn on 2018. Accordingly, the report revealed that the foreign exchange earning can be facilitated through industrial parks to meet Ethiopia import needs and provide the government with necessary resource for development through attraction of foreign investors and export of goods to the country. Therefore, from the result of both interview and the secondary source of data, it is possible to conclude that the emphasis given to marketing strategy is not balanced in textile manufacturing industries in selected industrial parties. According to the perception of the interviews, the current marketing strategy of the company is ignoring the domestic market. The general director of the industry even says that due to the ignorance of domestic market, the textile manufacturing companies have suffered a lot of challenges during the outbreak of COVID-19 and the restriction of agua. This is due to the fact that they couldn't sell their product to the domestic market due to policy restriction. And on the other hand, they missed to use the agua opportunity due to the inconveniences that was happened within those Ethiopian countries and the agua founders. And their marketing strategy has hindered them to sell their product in the domestic market. Due to this, most companies have incurred losses, and some of companies were terminating their operations due to the impact of COVID-19 and agua restrictions, as you know. This is feedback from the general managers. So, concerning to supply chain management practices, again, I try to see the views of interviews toward this supply chain management practices. According to your perception, to what extent does your company practices supply chain management? I have asked them. Then they replied that our company has a good experience in practicing supply chain management. There is a good relationship with suppliers of raw materials, procurement of goods for company, importing raw materials for the company have been practiced in the company. Respectively, the interview explains that all companies are practicing supply chain in high extent. But based on the response of interview, the researcher has asked about the availability or the critical challenges toward this supply chain management practices. Accordingly, the interviewee explains that there is a critical challenges toward this supply chain management practices. As a quotation that are drawn, even though these textile manufacturing companies have practiced supply chain management practice activities in day-to-day operations, there are high shortage of raw materials to produce the goods, high transport costs, and absence of raw materials from the local market, which leaves the extra cost is found to be the crucial challenges in the practices of supply chain management practices in those industrial parties. Especially among the products that are produced in manufacturing industries, nylon is the most popular one, next to the woolen. So, according to the response of the company managers, nylon is the most worthwhile product and demanding product is next to the woolen. So, but in Ethiopia, there are no raw materials that are used to produce what? Nylon. Thus, in line with this, whether there is any potential to produce the material of nylon in Ethiopia, hence they illustrated that the country had ample potential to do so. They said the nylon is produced from the material which is so-called flaxen, which is so-called talba in Afan Oromo, muka jirma talba. So this is local word is talba for our foreigners, and this international name is flaxseed. So that product is produced from this one. However, from one side, Ethiopia has a very conducive environment for the production of flaxseed. No problem towards that. I tried to talk with so many individuals. On the contrary, flaxseed is imported from another country at high prices. Again, the researcher has identified two contradicting ideas with the so-called foreign exchange paradox. It is impossible to sell or distribute the company's product for the domestic market from one side. This happened for the sake of collecting foreign currency from the export. From the other side, companies are paying much more dollar to import flaxen from other world countries. So, as a researcher, I say this one, and I would like to quote this one as there is a currency paradox. A currency paradox. Good. When I move to quantitative data analysis and interpretation, let me focus on how to test this hypothesis. Actually, I try to put the rule of thumb based on that one. I try to this t-value or critical ratio and the p-value based on that one. There is no evidence to reject alternative hypothesis and to accept null hypothesis. For that matter, null hypothesis is totally rejected and alternative hypothesis is selected as per the data finding. That means based on this rule of thumb. Again, for this matter, for the effect of marketing strategy on firm performance, the study assessed the model fitness, the result of hypothesis, use of validity, model test, and etc. So this allows me to run to proceed to the next step. Then finally, the direct effect of marketing strategy and the film performance was assessed. So the result shows that when the marketing strategy goes by, while unit competitive advantage goes by 0.6, as you can observe from this one. When I proceed to the next one, again, concerning the effect of marketing strategy, again, I have used same procedure and the same rule of thumb to make a decision toward this accepting and rejecting hypothesis. Based on that one, again, this is the result toward this, the effect of direct effect of marketing strategy on film performance. So this shows again the same thing is true. It has a positive and significant effect on film performance. When I come to the mediating effect of competitive advantage in the relationship between marketing strategy and the film performances, this is the result that I have used through using Amos. And this, as you know, this one is independent variable for my study, the mediating variable and dependent variable. Based on that one, I have I put this one simply to show you the validity, the model fitness issue. It is the best fit. Based on this decision, here is the indirect effect for the mediating effect of competitive advantage in the relationship between marketing strategy and the film performance. For that matter, the indirect effect of marketing strategy to the film performance through competitive advantages, as you can see, 1.5. Sorry, I am talking about indirect, not direct. So the indirect effect of marketing strategy to film performance through competitive advantages 1.551. But the study has identified the indirect effect. However, the researcher is still okay. However, the researcher is still needs to know if the indirect effect is significant, if it falls within 95 confidence intervals. Let me write to check whether this indirect effect is significant. I have used those lower bound and upper bound measurement tools using Amos again. So as per the rule of thumb, again, this and this did not cross, or the lower bound confidence interval and the upper bound confidence interval shows the presence of certain, since there is no zero between LB and UB, that means lower bound and upper bound, this simply, it helped me to say this data is indirect effect is significant. But again, there is the presence of mediation or certain mediation effect. But again, I didn't know whether that mediation is fully mediating or partially mediating. To check that one again, I have used another method which is so-called two-tailed significance level. Based on that one, as you can see here, it is totally significant, and therefore it is possible to conclude marketing strategy has a significant indirect effect on film performance. And finally, the indirect effect of marketing strategy to film performance through competitive advantage is 1.551, as you see. That means this times this, which comes. So the above result to conclude that the indirect effect is significant, but the type of mediation is not present yet. So I have to identify that one. To do so, I have used this technique. I have used the above table to decide whether it is fully mediating or partially mediating. Based on the result, the above table reveals that the result of confidence interval for the direct path from marketing strategy to film performance is statistically significant, which shows the marketing strategy has a significant direct relationship to the film performance, and this indicates that the effect of marketing strategy on film performance is partially mediating through competitive advantage. When I tried to conclude the mediation analysis towards my objective, the study assessed the mediating effect of competitive advantage in the relationship between marketing strategy and film performance. So the result revealed that significant indirect effect of marketing strategy on film performance was positive and significant, as you can see the result, supporting the hypothesis of my study. Further, the direct effect of marketing strategy on film performances, again, presence as a mediator, was also found significant, as you can see here. And finally, hence competitive advantage partially mediates the relationship between marketing strategy and the firm performance. This is the table simply to summarize the mediation effect, as you simply to show. When I proceed to this one, here is effect of supply chain management practices on on firm performance. Again, I have used multiple regression model to do this one, and let me proceed because you can easily understand this one, and I have used those regression analysis methods, and I didn't observe any problem to do towards the significance of the variables, and also as you can see from this one, there is a positive significant effect towards all variables on the dependent variables. And again, let me proceed to this one. Again, based on the result, again, I tried to reject the null hypothesis and accept alternative hypothesis. And the last title is assessing the mediating effect of competitive advantage in the relationship between supply chain management practices and firm performance. I followed same procedure as you can see, and finally, because no need of repeating, the objective is different, but the methodology is one. That's why I'm skipping. And finally, after following this one again, the final conclusion toward this objective is this one. The study assessed the mediating effect of competitive advantage in the relationship between supply chain management practices and the firm performance. So again, all are significant, like in indirect effect, direct effect is significant. Again, same thing is through marketing strategy. Competitive advantage partially mediates in this one, as you can see from this one. And finally, let me proceed to conclusion and recommendation. When I come to conclusion and recommendation, the first objective was emphasis given to marketing strategy and supply chain management practices. I tried to conclude that less emphasis was given to marketing segmentation in textile manufacturing companies. This is due to the fact that trade policy of the country is totally ignoring, in Ethiopian Industrial Park is totally ignoring the domestic market. Again, I tried to see the availability of power shortage of raw materials, particularly flaxseed raw materials, and also which leads for currency paradox. From this currency paradox is my own quotation. Simply as I observe, I can say currency products. Concerning the effect of marketing strategy on competitive advantage, again, there is a positive significant effect. That means marketing strategy has a positive significant effect on competitive advantage. The same thing is true. Marketing strategy has a positive significant effect on the firm performance. Again, concerning to the mediating effect of competitive advantage in the relationship between marketing strategy and firm performance, again, there is no problem of, there is no question of significance, all are significant, but what I observed here is this competitive advantage partially mediates the variables. The same thing is true for effect of supply chain management and, for mediating effect of supply chain management. So let me proceed to conclude, recommendation. At the first level, I tried to put my own recommendation for policymakers. So the study recommended that it is better in Ethiopia if Ethiopia has a clear legal framework to encourage the Ministry of Agriculture to give attention to the production of flaxseed production in Ethiopia. It is also better to have a clear strategy that links industrial parties with Ministry of Agriculture to work together in production and the use of flaxseed in order to minimize the shortage of foreign currency and to solve currency paradox. Again, it is better if the policymakers prepare the strategy and set direction toward this market segmentation of the industrial parties in order to include the domestic needs. And finally, the companies should strengthen the integration among supply chain partners. You know who are they? Like customers, manufacturers, producers, and finally suppliers. So it is better to strengthen the integration among those partners. It is better if the companies are focusing on the 4 Ps, because as you can observe from my study, the issue of 4 Ps is under question in Ethiopian industrial parties due to the policy challenge or pressure. Again, it is better if the textile manufacturing companies focus on cost leadership and the differentiation strategy to achieve a competitive advantage. And it is better if the companies are focusing on the differentiation strategy. And let me say thank you for your attention.
Okay, thank you, the presenter. Thank you very much. Please have your seat here. And you can take notes. Dr. Chalchisa, Dr. Zarihun.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes.
now the presenter has completed his presentation, and the turn is now for external examiner. Dr. Chalchisa, are you ready?
Yeah.
So you can proceed, please. It is unlimited. You can proceed as long as you wish. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much, Chairperson Dr.